Hey, what's up guys? Jay Wingus here after another long break. Guys, I am so sorry that I've been gone for so long. It's just, I've been really busy. I had school for the past, since I was gone last, and I really didn't have a whole lot of time to make the videos I wanted to make. And, I finally did, well, now I finally am, and so I'm definitely going to get all these videos out before I'm gone again. So I figured, I should definitely let you guys know on my thoughts, and then hopefully towards the end, hopefully after I'm done with all my vacations then and trips, then I will be able to actually finally get back to making normal videos. So yeah, I'm going to be doing my reviews for a lot of these videos here quick, and then I'm planning on making another AMB very soon for Marvel before the Defenders and Spider-Man Homecoming comes out. But yeah, so let's get to the review. So this is going to be my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I'd say was a pretty awesome movie. But in my opinion, I don't think it was as good as the first. There were a lot of things that I did like from this movie that I thought that it really improved. Really improved from the first movie. One is the villain. I think that the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and since we're like pretty much a month out from this movie being set, I'm really going to lay on the spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, sorry, but spoilers are coming. So yes, I really did think that Ego was an awesome villain. I really did like his character motivation, and you kind of see, when you first meet him, you're like, oh, this guy's really cool. This guy is like another Chris Pratt. This is like the OG, this is where he kind of learns his thing. And I really did like how you kind of, when you finally figure out he is a villain, it's like at the same moment when Chris Pratt / Star-Lord does, and you're just like, oh shit, this is the bad guy. And it's pretty like amazing and funny, and it's like, what? It really blew my mind, because I thought it was going to be the Sovereign that were the bad guys. We'll talk more about them later. But yeah, I really did like that. I really did like Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana and Karen Gillan and Drax, and I really did like the original team and a lot of the people from the original movie, like I said. And probably the bigger standouts would probably be Karen Gillan and probably Yondu. I think they really, from the original to the sequel, I think they really did step it up, and they really did a lot of good things. And especially when Michael Rooker when he talks about his past a little bit more, I think that that will, and it really resonated with Rocket, and I felt like there was that connection there, and they could really work together well, and that's kind of the thick glue that kind of made them help get them out of that prison that they were in from the Ravengers. But I also kind of had my problem with that whole kind of subplot with Groot, Yondu, and Rocket. So I really didn't feel like this was a Guardians kind of movie. I felt like they should have been together more, because the Guardians team they were together at the beginning, and then they were split up in the middle, and then they were together at the end. But I felt like they should have been together throughout, because in the movie, in the original one, they're apart, they get brought together, and then they're together. They don't really get split up. They get split up a little bit towards the end, but other than that, it's not really, that kind of big of a deal, in my opinion. I liked it better. It flowed better. For this one, I just did not like the whole kind of Ravager side plot. I did like certain elements from that. I really did like how it strengthened Yondu's character, and it also helped Shane Gunn's brother get a little bit of a bigger performance. I don't know, maybe if that influence came from, since he is his brother, he wanted him to have a bigger performance, but I think he did alright. He wasn't my favorite, and some of the things that they kind of forced him to do were not, I didn't like as much, but I did kind of like how he came back to Yondu at the end. He kind of was conflicted, who should I be with? Should I be with Taserface, or should I be with, who? And that's another thing. There was a lot of jokes in this movie that I didn't think were the best. There were some jokes that were good, and then there were jokes that were just not so good. And the joke kept running, and it kind of was a gag a little bit, and they kept talking about it. But eventually they stopped. And I wasn't really happy with it. But so yeah, that was something. And another big thing I liked was Groot. I really did like Baby Groot. He was really cool, very cute and funny. And I think it was a different thing to see than instead of him being, the big Groot that we see, and he can still be this imposing little fella, kind of from, that was in, that was the than the original one, kind of garbled up there. Sorry guys, but yeah, I did like Karen Gillan and Zoe Saldana's going back and forth. Although Karen Gillan was a little bit too much in some spots, I think a little bit overreacting, but other than that, it was all right. But I really did love learning a little bit more about Thanos and how much of an ass he really is, because he like was not good to Nebula at all, and hopefully that will help her like choose the side that she wants to be on in Avengers Infinity War. And I believe she's in that. But yeah, so let's talk about the ending. I really did love the action. The visual effects were amazing. I really did love the look of this whole world. I thought it was beautiful. Hugo's planet was amazing, and I just was like really amazed with the stuff that they pulled off. A lot of good visual effects. Another thing that I wasn't so sure about, what wasn't the best hyped about, was Mantis. I really didn't like her so much. I was just like, okay, she's just here, she's, in my opinion, she was just like, yeah, I'm here to fill in certain stuff, this is why he is the way he is, I'm helping him out. I wanted to like this character, but I didn't. I kind of just felt like, if she's going to be in Infinity War, what role is she going to play? Because can she change emotions? What is her power? I'm really kind of confused on why James Gunn really brought her in. Hopefully, in Avengers Infinity War, if they do bring her in, I can see that a little bit more. But other than that, hopefully they can do more. But yeah, like I said, I definitely did like the end fight. The end, like the final death though, with Yondu dying, that I don't really feel like that had that much of an effect on me. Yondu died. That is kind of sad, and it was kind of a heartfelt moment when Yondu and Quill had that kind of connection. Where it's like, yeah, I'm your daddy, and it was like, kind of sad. But I was just like, I'm not really sure if how I should feel. Of course you should feel sad, but I wasn't like okay, he's gone. It wasn't that big of a deal. Because Yondu, he isn't really one of my favorite characters, but I kind of I liked him a little bit more in this movie. So, but I really felt like maybe it would have been better if it would have been actually one of the other Guardians. That would hurt him. That would hurt me to see. But I definitely would not want to see one of them go. But yeah, that is definitely something that probably would have had a bigger impact on us. And so hopefully this character in the Marvel Universe stays dead, because Marvel needs to keep some of these people dead. But there were another few things that I really thought were unnecessary, like the whole big glob on Earth. I really didn't like, because since this film takes place in like 4 months after the original, why isn't that referenced or anything, like on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or like when the Avengers, like, because Age of Ultron hasn't happened yet by that time, so like what has happened, or like kind of when is this timeline going on, and I just kind of like an idea of where that would be. But yeah, I was definitely very intrigued by like what James Gunn tried to do, and I like the ambition that he had. And sometimes the sequel is not better than the original, and in this case that's true. But I really did like Stan Lee's cameo. I thought that was really cool. The Watchers were also very awesome. And the 5 post-credit scenes I thought were amazing. Sylvester Stallone, I loved his post-credit scene with the original OG, like the OG Guardians of the Galaxy. That was very cool. I did like Yondu's fin getting passed down to James Gunn's brother. And I also did like Yondu having that bigger fin, because it's more comic comic accurate. So I like that. And also the other ones, I'm trying to remember. The whole Sovereign. Oh, okay, yeah, the Sovereign. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Sovereign. I was like, they're all right. I knew they were going to be hunted down, but it's just like, yeah, they're this race of these perfect people. And Bob, I just didn't like them in the film, and I felt like kind of if they would have just stayed at the beginning and then when they got to them at the end, that would have been perfectly fine. They didn't really need to be in that final battle, I don't think, because they didn't really prove that much. They didn't really do that much in the final battle, I guess. They made Aisha, they made her really pissed. And that leads into the after credit scene with Aisha actually having Adam Warlock in there. Then that'll be that'll be epically cool in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 when we see that. And hopefully the Sovereign is a little bit more fleshed out a little bit in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so I'm hoping that works. And also the other post-credit scene with Stan Lee, I thought that was pretty funny. Huge continuity error though, but James Gunn he recognized that and he kind of saved himself. He was like, yeah, Stan Lee, he could have been another Postal Man somewhere else, in the timeline. But, so I definitely recognize that now, but I definitely did like that. Trying to remember what the last one was. Oh, yeah, and then the one with Groot. I thought that was pretty funny. It was kind of just that, and it's not teenage Groot, I guess, so it's probably like younger, like maybe 5 to 10 years old. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I think that's it. So we got that. We got the and yeah, so Guardians. Yeah, I think that's about it. If I'm missing one, please let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, I would probably give this movie maybe a 3.5 or probably a 3.75 out of 5 wings. It was not better than the original, but I definitely did like this movie. So don't be like a Matt, like, oh, he gave it a 3.75. That's horrible. No, I did like this movie, but I didn't like it as much as the original. And I believe I gave the original like a 4 or 4.5. But so yeah, but this really this movie really made me like the original more. So yeah. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Jay Wink, and I'm winking out.